that beat. Let's go.
Alright, we are back with roster update predictions for September 18th. Now, we're going to get quick into this. If you already know how this works, good. It's just, I'm going to say right now, tier upgrades. For silver going to gold, gold going to diamond, gold going to silver, and diamond going to gold. That's it. Let's get into it. I'm just going to go over the guys. We got 5 for each, except for diamond, we have 4. Now, let's get into it because I don't got much time today. First guy up is Paul DeYoung. Now, this guy is actually hitting over 300 on the year, and he's struggling against lefties still, but he only has 19 at-bats against lefties, so it doesn't really matter for him. He's still hitting, like, I think 316 against righties if I look at this right now. He is currently hitting 316 against righties, so that contact versus righties can come up. It's a 98 at-bats, which is pretty good. He's got 843 OPS and a 459 slugging. Not terrible. I just think that contact versus righties could come up, and it'll boost him up to an 80 overall. He is currently going for 745 stubs, 600 on the quick sell. So you could make 400 stubs per card on him. He is currently hitting 273 and 273 in his last 7 games and 289 in his last 15 games. So it's not like he's in a slump by any means. Still hitting good, so he's probably going to go gold. On to the next guy. Next guy up is Dominic Smith. He's currently going for 1,000 stubs, so a lot of people do think he's going to go gold, and I do too. On the year, he's batting 331 with a over 1,000 OPS and 139 at-bats. Has a 677 slugging in his last 7 games with a 419 average. In his last 15 games, he's got a 328 average with a 475 slugging. If you wonder why I'm bringing up the recent games, they tend to actually care about that when it comes to upgrading and downgrading people. If you're in a slump or you're on fire, they usually do upgrade you considering it's a 60-game season. But versus lefties in 39 at-bats, he's batting 282 with a 513 slug and a 921 OPS. That's actually pretty fucking good, and 65-66 does not reflect that. So he can get boosted up a little bit there. And against righties, he's batting 350 with a 670 slug and an over 1,000 OPS. Easily deserves the little upgrade. I think he's going up to an 81 actually. Once you balance out everything, he only needs +2 against righties to go up to an 80. So I think he could easily make 81. And you can make 100 stubs per card on him if you do invest in him. Or if you already have a ton on him, you can make a lot of stubs off him. Next guy is Devin Williams. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he came out of nowhere and he's a fucking beast. I don't know if he was a top prospect or something, or if people know who he is or where he came from, but on the year right now, he's got 20 innings pitched. He has a .45 ERA. He has 41 strikeouts in 20 innings and a .7 whip. He is easily going gold in my opinion. K per 9 and hit per 9 are already very high, but in real life, he is doing even better than those numbers. His walks are pretty meh. 8 walks in 20 innings is pretty bad. His home run per 9 is low, and he's given up a single home run in 20 innings. So his home run per 9 could come up also. We'll just have to see how he does. But right now, I do think he's going to an 80 easily, maybe even an 82. I'd say an 80 or an 82 at max. I'd say on a good day where SDS is feeling generous, they would upgrade him to an 82. We'll just have to see. But he is currently going for 900 stubs. You can make about 300 stubs per card on him. So if you want to invest in him, he's a good choice. Next guy is Zach Davies. This guy's having a really good year after a solid 2019. He currently has a 2.69 ERA in 60 innings pitched with 55 strikeouts, so he's not much of a strikeout pitcher. But he only has a 1.01 whip, so the hit per 9 could come up a little bit from 80. If we go to his full-on stats, he's given up 7 home runs in 60 innings, so maybe they'll upgrade it a bit. Probably not. Not really sure about that. When it comes to his walk per 9, he's walked 16 batters in 60 innings, so that's probably going to stay right there. But he's still having a solid year. I think they could upgrade him a little bit. In 10 games started, he's pitched 60 innings, so, I mean, he's averaging about, what? I don't know, 6 innings? Yeah, he's averaging about 6 innings per start. So I think that 83 stamina is actually probably just going to stay there. But he's doing very solid on the year. 2.69 ERA is very good. I think he could get a little boost up to an 80, no problem. He is currently going for 735 stubs. You can make just about 400 stubs per card on him for profit. So if you want to invest in him, go for it. Let's go on to the last silver that could be going gold. This guy seems to be pretty high on everybody's list, going for 1,000 stubs right now. You can make 150 stubs per card on him. He is actually doing pretty good, Will Smith. Last time I checked, this guy was batting like 150. But he's raking lately. He's batting 300 on the year with over 1,000 OPS and 80 at-bats. In his last 7 games, he's batting 481. In his last 15, he's batting 385. He is raking. Against lefties, he is batting 333 and 18 at-bats with over 1,000 OPS and 500 slug. And in 62 at-bats against righties, he's batting 290 with a 629 slug and over 1,000 OPS also. Both sides can get upgraded, and once you balance it out, I think he'll be sitting at an 80 overall. Invest in him if you want to. I think he's another good choice. All right, a returning guest, Nelson Cruz. Currently going for 4,500. You can make just over 1,000 steps per card on this guy. Still raking on the year, hitting 323 with over 1,000 OPS, has 16 home runs and 164 at-bats. In his last 7 games, he's batting 292 with a 667 slug. In his last 15 games, he's batting 340 with a 600 slug. Absolutely raking at the plate. Against righties, he's currently batting 273 with a 554 slug and a 921 OPS. He's not doing bad against righties. They could maybe boost him a little bit there, but it's where his lefties start to really fucking shine. He's already pretty good against lefties, but I think he's gotten better since the last time we've looked at him. He's batting 465 with a 907 slug and a 1400 OPS. That is game numbers right there. That is you playing on beginner difficulty in Road to the Show type numbers. This guy is being unfair against lefties. I think they're definitely going to boost his lefty stats even more. I think he'll be an 85. Yeah, I think he'll be an 85. He already needs so much just to get to an 87. I think he'll just be an 85 flat. Give him a little tiny boost. Maybe he'll get out to an 85. We'll just have to see what happens. But I think he's definitely a good investment. I do think he will go diamond. I think there'll be a few diamonds this week. And a few diamond downgrades, in fact. Next guy up is Corey Seeger. He's batting 308 on the year with a 948 OPS and 12 home runs. In his last 7 games, he's actually struggling a bit, hitting 207 with a 414 slug. But in his last 15 games, where it really matters, he's batting 295 with a 590 slug. The one thing that is huge about Corey Seeger right now is that against lefties, he's batting 264 with a 450 slug and a 780 OPS. That may not be good numbers, but they used to be a lot worse. So his lefty stats are probably going to get boosted, which is huge for getting this guy to a diamond. And against righties, he's still raking 328 average, 655 slug, and over 1,000 OPS. So he's still doing good against righties. The power against righties could come up a bit. It definitely could, and his lefty stats are definitely going to get a good little boost because 48 is fucking garbage compared to how he's actually hitting against lefties now. So we'll have to see what they do against him for him. But he is one of the most expensive right now, going for 4,900. You will only make 400 stubs minimum off him, and usually every guy that goes up to diamond stays at the minimum price. So basically, only 400 stubs per card on him. I guess you could go for it. He's got a pretty good chance considering he needs his lefty stats to go up. So yeah, be on the lookout to see if he goes diamond. I had Whit Merrifield in the diamonds going gold last week. I said he was gonna go gold, and he did, as I expected. But now I think he's actually gonna go right back to diamond. Right once they downgraded him, he started raking. In his last 15 games, he's batting only 2 for 34 with a 375 slug. But all of a sudden, this guy just picked it the fuck up. In his last 7 games, he's batting 433 with a 733 slug, making him bat 276 on the year with a 796 OPS. And now if you go look at his stats, his splits, he's batting 278 against lefties with a 472 slug and an 822 OPS. And against righties, he's batting 276 with a 466 slug and a 790 OPS. Very balanced hitter now. I think he's going to go right back up to diamond. I think he'll be at an 85. Yeah, I think he's just going to go right back to where he was, pretty much. He kind of just started picking back up to what he normally hits, like. So, yeah, right now he's going for 4,300 subs. You can make 1,500 subs per card on him. Sure, they just downgraded him, but considering it's a 60-game season, I wouldn't put it past him to just downgrade and upgrade the same card within the week of each other. So, yeah, don't be surprised if he goes diamond. I say I have 2 guys that are guaranteed to go diamond in this roster update. Dinelson Lamet is one of them, and the last guy is the other. This guy is easily being a Cy Young runner. He's running for Cy Young easily. This guy's he's just dealing on the mound. 59.1 innings pitched, 79 strikeouts, pretty good. 20 strikeouts above innings pitched. .89 whip, which is also very good. And in his 59 innings, he's walked 17 batters, which is kind of high. And he's given up 5 home runs in 59 innings. I guess it's not terrible. Compared to last year where he had 73 innings, he gave up 12 home runs in only 73 innings. So, he's actually on pace to give up a lot less. So he definitely could get that upgraded. I think he'll go up to an 86 because he's just been that good. I think this guy will go up to a diamond. I think he's guaranteed. Again, 5,000 stubs. A lot of people do think he's going to go diamond. We're going to move right on to the next guy who I think is also easily confirmed to go diamond. He's been looking like he should have gone diamond for a few weeks now. Michael Conforto. 5,000 stubs he's going for. He is just breaking out this year. Last year he did good, don't get me wrong. 29 home runs, or 29 doubles, sorry. He had 33 home runs, which is pretty good. He's just been going up and up and up on the home runs. But if we do go look at his stats this year, 341 average, 986 OPS, 9 home runs, and 179 at-bats. In his last 7 games, he's batting .333 with a .567 slug. In his last 15 games, he's batting .377 with a .656 slug, which is insane. If we do go to his splits against lefties, he's still batting .294 with a .515 slug and a .907 OPS. That is pretty damn good. And if you go to his righty stats, he's batting .369 with a .586 slug and over 1,000 OPS. So that contact versus righties, it's going above 100. The power versus righties, it's going above 80. The fucking contact versus lefties is going above 80. The power versus lefties is going above 80. It's all going up. He is getting a full-on upgrade when it comes to his hitting stats. He is just doing insane. In fact, he's fielding really well this season. He's fielding pretty damn nice. He's making some nice catches out there. Although I don't think they're going to touch fielding at all this year. If you think they're going to touch fielding, I'm surprised you think that. It's a 60-game season. When it comes to fielding, there is a lot less plays in 60 games. So don't expect them to touch fielding really at all this year, unless it's blatantly obvious that it should be changed, like the Nolan Arenado situation from, I think, last year. He had like 80 fielding. It made no fucking sense. They ended up changing it. But, yeah, I don't think his fielding is going to get touched. I'm not saying it shouldn't, but they just probably are not going to see it as enough, like, plays or anything. They're not going to see it as a big enough, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's not a big enough chunk of, like, plays for them to really consider upgrading his fielding. Because for all you know, he could shit the bed next year when it comes to fielding. They just need to see more of it in more games, more plays, all that stuff. All right, first guy up for diamond downgrades is Geolito. This guy has not been great since his no-hitter. He has a 3.43 ERA in 60 innings with 82 strikeouts and a 1.03 whip. Now, this is the one thing I'll give him, right? Is like when you go look at his home run per nine, his walk per nine, all that stuff. When it comes to his stats, he lines up with it a bit, okay? I'll say that much. Although his home run per nine is 5 home runs in 60 innings, he actually could get a bit of an upgrade there. Here's the thing. I'm not crazy about this guy going down. I think he could, but it's debatable if he will. It's debatable if he will. He could actually get an upgrade. That's the thing. He's either getting upgraded or he's getting downgraded. I couldn't tell you. He has a sub-3 ERA in his last 7 games. So he might get downgraded because he's been struggling in his most recent starts. In his last 3 starts, he's really fucking struggling. But the one thing he's doing is just, stopping from people getting so many hits and he's striking out a good amount of batters. He's doing the things his card says, but you never know. They could downgrade something. And that, considering -6 on his hit per nine, K per nine, bringing it down to an 82, him going down to an 84 ain't that crazy. So I wouldn't put it past him. But he's definitely the guy he's like the least guy to go down. So don't be worried about him. If you're a White Sox fan, you're worried Geolito's going down to a gold. I wouldn't freak out about it. He's probably not. He's just a guy to put here. This motherfucker has been due to go down for weeks. I know they're holding it back because he's the cover boy. But I think they're finally going to pull the trigger this week. This guy has shown up like 3 or 4 times on downgrades for the roster update. Dude, downgrade is fucking ass. He is sucking. He's batting .206 still in the season with a .623 OPS. He's not gotten any better. In his last 7 games, he's batting .208 with a .458 slug. In his last 15, he's batting .214 with a .393 slug. He's not doing good. If we go to his lefty stats, he's only batting .268 with a .512 slug and an .823 OPS. He was actually batting better against the lefties last time we checked. And against righties, he's batting even worse. 187 with a .338 slug and a .563 OPS. That is dog shit. This guy is getting downgraded. If you have him, either exchange him for something or just sell him, quick sell him for the 5K, dude. he is going down 100%. I get he's the cover boy, but you cannot hold him back forever. This guy, I was actually starting to realize, didn't really fully deserve to go down because his OPS and stuff was still high. It was like over 800 and stuff. But now that I'm looking at him, now he kind of deserves it. 209 average, 783 OPS, which ain't that high. It's still decent, but under 800 is pretty weak. 200 average, 360 slug in his last 7 games, 245 average, and a 396 slug in his last 15 games. Versus lefties, he's batting 298 with a 660 slug and over 1,000 OPS, which is really fucking weird that he's doing better against lefties. He usually doesn't. And his lefty stats are worse. That's a problem because against righties, in way more bats, he's batting 172 with a 362 slug and a 676 slug. They're going to hurt his righty stats majorly. His lefty stats are probably actually going to get upgraded a good little bit, but it's going to balance out. I think he's going to land at an 84 overall. So be on, like, here's the big problem about Christian Yelich. His fielding is dog shit. He fully relies on hitting, and he's just not hitting it good enough against both sides to keep him at a diamond any longer. You have to be hitting pretty damn fucking good to stay as a diamond while you have common fielding in the outfield. Right now, he's just not doing it. He's not making the cut. His lefty stats are going to look good after this next roster update, but his righty stats are going to look bad. They're going to look pretty damn bad. So this guy, again, get rid of him if you own him. He's going gold. He is. Sonny Gray, how the man has fallen. This guy was doing so good to start the year, and last year he was also having a great year. I thought he was about to carry it over and have a great season. But right now in 45 innings, he has 60 strikeouts, which is good, a 1.29 whip, which is not good, and a 3.94 ERA. In his last 7 starts, he has a 5.18 ERA, which is very weak, and in 7 games started, only 33 innings, which is also very weak. He has walked 18 batters in 33 innings, which is weak. He's struck out 40 batters in 33 innings, which is pretty good. I think he's given up the long... No, he's actually not really giving the long ball up quite much. 3 home runs in 45 innings. It's really just that he's given up hits. He's given up, 1.58 whip in his last 7 starts. That is weak. He has not had a good start since his start on the 27th of August, where he went 5 innings, no earned runs, but he's had 2 starts in a row where he's racked up only 4 innings in those 2 starts combined, and he's given up 11 runs. He's walked 6 batters, and he's given up 11 hits in those 4 innings. He's pretty bad in his last 2 starts, and I think it's enough to the point where they're probably going to downgrade him. They were pretty harsh on him. The second he had a bad start, they downgraded the 0.2 innings. The second he had that start, they downgraded him to an 85. So for the fact that he had another bad start, I think they're going to downgrade him again, and he's going to go down to an 84. Our last guy I think is going to gold is Zach Ranky. He's kind of having the same situation that Sonny Gray's having, although a bit worse, because his 3 starts in a row are not doing that great. Although 6 innings, 3 earned isn't terrible, but, you know, when you're in a streak of a few bad starts, it can look kind of bad. In 57.1 innings, he has 53 strikeouts. He's not a strikeout pitcher. Don't expect him to strike out a ton. 1.06 whip, pretty solid, but a 3.77 ERA. In his last 7 starts, he has 42.1 innings, a 4.04 ERA. He has walked 5 batters, so he hasn't really walked too many. He struck out 42, so he's striking out 1 per inning, and he has a 1.09 whip. So his problem, by the looks of it, is that he's giving up the long ball, but he's really not. 5 home runs, 57 innings. He's just giving up runs, I guess. He's not really being clutch, which 72 pitching clutch is whatever. It's just like whenever it just seems like 1 inning, he just gives up a ton. But right now, if you go look at his recent starts, 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. He's not been good in his last 3 starts. His last 7 starts, he hasn't been good. 4 ERA isn't too hot, so he's not having a great year right now. Hopefully he can get it together, but I do think they will downgrade him to an 84. They were pretty quick to downgrade him last year to an 84. They were like all over the place with him going diamond. He like went down, then he went back up. He's just been all over the place, but they've been quick with him to downgrade and upgrade him. So I think he'll probably go down, but then if he has another like good 2 starts in a row, I'd say, they're probably going to send him right back up. But yeah, that's all the upgrades and downgrades for this week. Comment down below what I missed. Of course, I'm going to miss cards. I limit myself to 5 per tier, so I'm not going to get all of them, but I just get the first I see and the first I think are plausible for going up or down. But yeah, hit the thumbs up button, boys, if you did enjoy. Be on the lookout for a debut later tonight. It'll be uploaded later tonight. It is a big boy, a big expensive card that is going to be uploaded tonight, so be on the lookout for that. But yeah, boys, that is going to do it for the video. Hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy. Subscribe to my content like this, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.